And we were invited to an exhibition in Munich, which was called Dream City. And it was a historical show about Munich in a way, but also about Germany. But Munich is a dream city. The title was taken out of a tourist brochure, where you think of this very clean, proper German, very wealthy city, but also with a very awful history from the Middle Age through the Third Reich, and also being considered as a very conservative city in Germany. And it was a big exhibition in 3 different spaces with all the generation of artists, with artists who were not alive anymore, but there were also 5 or 6 special commission projects, and we were one of the people who were asked to do a special project. And so what we decided was that we had a certain area in the exhibition space for our project, and we went to visit Munich, and we saw that a lot of people are driving BMWs because the headquarters of BMWs are in Munich, and that the architecture is kind of influenced by BMWs, and that it's such a big status symbol in Munich, stressing even more this kind of look how wealthy we are and how good, proper. And so when we decided to rent out the space to BMW, and we started to negotiate with the company, and they got really interested into the project and the idea to do something on a long-term base to see how things can develop. And we also asked them, we rent out the space, and you tell us the price, what you think is adequate to the artist's work, to the artist's capital we're giving you. So they discussed with several people, and then they decided to give us a Z3 car, which was the newest sports model at the time. And I guess now it's going to be more interesting. Which we could keep. And this is where the scandal started, because a lot of people from the exhibition started to say, no, this is impossible, and artists can drive such a car, and what about the other artists? They don't get anything. They don't even get production costs, and we get production costs, plus we get a car we can keep. And it started to be also the discussion about these expectations about an image of an artist, what people think that artists, how an artist nowadays lives, he has to be poor, he has to live like a crazy person in some bad apartment or whatever, and he can't have fun with design or contemporary lifestyle. And we were not interested so much into the car, but we were more interested into the whole idea of how much, what's the value of artistic work to a corporation. And so we decided through contracts and many meetings that all the exhibition spaces within 1.5 years will be dedicated to material or ready-mades or things which were specially produced, but in relation to BMW. And all the shows, all the things are always produced by BMW, and the car was somehow part of the deal. And the show, the project toured through many different places, from Tokyo to New York, and there were different things. Like in New York, there was installation with different BMW material in a gallery, and one of the pieces was a bicycle, which was a bicycle for $8,000, so a very expensive bicycle. And one day the gallery door was open, and there was a guy who came in, and he didn't look suspicious at all, and suddenly he drove with the bike from the very back through the gallery door, and he was gone. So things like that happened. Of course, the work wasn't insured, as it is in art world sometimes, that people don't work, they don't have so much money, so they don't, insure things, so it was a non-profit gallery, so the bike was missing. But it was also interesting to work with actual dependence of BMW in Sweden, in Tokyo, because it's one company, but still it was completely different kind of collaboration, because the mentality, the culture is different. So it was interesting to see how, for example, Italians, they're like really crazy about design, and they were really funky in what they, what we could do and present. And then, I don't know, some other countries were more stiff and conservative and wanted to stick to the corporate design and didn't, So there were different things. Maybe I'll just which we show, like photographs taken from brochures, but they were framed, so they were, these things are always shown in an art context. Maybe this is important to say. They were never shown like in a BMW sales room, and so they look very arty in a way, but they were not. And like these kind of pseudo-technical drawings, which look like art drawings, or like something from Archie Grant from the 60s, but it's actually done by the BMW technical department to show how things work. The story with the car ended that the car was sold to a contemporary art collection, to a museum, which made even more people angry. Because we didn't only get the car, we also sold the car for even more than it was valued, because it was an art piece now. And it was an art piece by two artists who did all these shows, and we sold it under the restrictions that we can drive for another year. But there was a label on them which said our names, the title, quite non-luxury, then 1999, mixed media. So it looked like the regular label in a museum, but it was on the car, and the Mac collection, and the number, the inventory number. And this project was published in many books and magazines, and people got really interested. And even now, after many years, actually, I still get requests because people mention this project in books and or want to know some things about it. And there was also a book published about the entire project with very good texts by different authors, also from the corporate world, not only from the art critical world, but